Hi guys, this is Nikki, you also known as Face Trader, and you're watching the Awesome 10X market update for the global market. So let's discuss. It's October 26, 2020. It's a Monday. A lot of things happened last week. There were actually a lot of things happening, especially in the weed sector, the cannabis sector. Let me discuss a few of the news that I picked up that I think that you should be aware of. So let me begin. Let's go to the weed sector. Hashtag weed. It's a lot, really. So for those who aren't aware, there's been a lot of news. Market has been agreeing with our picks. Hexo is doing well, indeed, plus Afria. Okay, I'm gonna share to you news each one of them. So last week we saw the following: celebrities like Chelsea Handler launched a curated cannabis products kit in collaboration with Sweet Flower. Cronos and actress Kristen Bell, aka Veronica Mars, partnered to launch Happy Dance, that is a CBD skincare brand. Uncle Bud's, a hemp and CBD brand backed by Earvin Magic Johnson, launched in China via partnership with Alibaba's group, holding limited Baba's Tmall. Over the last 5 trading days of the week, your cannabis ETFs were actually up. So, example, your MJ ETF was gaining 3% last week. Your YOLO was up 2.5%. Your Cannabis THCX ETF advanced 2%. Your Amplify Seamer Cannabis was up 1.6%, while the SPY, given S&P 500, was down 0.7%. We also saw wholesale cannabis marketplace LeafLink release its October report looking into the cannabis wholesale in the U.S. The paper showed a 118% year-over-year increase measured by the company's gross merchandise value, which is the total value of merchandise sold over a certain period of time from January to September. You are seeing as well Michigan and a lot of places have been seeing rises. Here, Michigan's GMV increased by a whopping 342% and is the strongest escalation in GMV. Michigan continues to surprise everyone with the huge numbers in its pudding, and since the state is still in its infancy, we can expect Michigan to become a leader in the industry. Now, Canada cannabis has also been growing substantially, increasing by 94% over the year and 6% sequentially to 250 million Canadian dollars in August. According to Canadian statistics, the growth can be attributed to the expansion of the retail footprint across provinces, including British Columbia, especially Ontario. Ontario's sales contributed to 67 million in sales, which accounted for 11% compared to 2.5% from other major provinces. Lot of news. Actually, I think I saw that. Is it correct? Kanye West also has. Let me just search. I think my friends shared it to me. Kanye West cannabis brand. July promises free and legal. No, not that. No, sorry, not Kanye. It was JayZ. Yeah, 2 days ago. 2 days ago, we also saw Beyonce's beau, which is JayZ. He launched his own cannabis brand. So October 23, Monogram aims to redefine what cannabis means to today's consumers. JayZ is venturing into the world of cannabis. The mogul officially announced the launch of his new cannabis brand called Monogram, marking his first product collaboration since becoming the chief brand strategist of Northern California-based dispensary Caliva last year. Monogram seeks to redefine what cannabis means to consumers today, and as many marijuana storefronts have implemented new rules amid the global pandemic, Monogram is also planning to launch an e-commerce sales option in an effort to provide a more tailored customer experience. Caliva and Hub opened their very first Southern California storefront last year. Besides providing quality products, Hub aims to use their position at Caliva to help the formerly incarcerated, many of whom aren't reaping the benefits of marijuana legalization, through advocacy, job training, and employee and workforce development. According to the company website, Monogram uses expert growers to ensure that each marijuana flower receives the respect it deserves at every stage in the growth process. Monogram flowers are grown in small batches so that every plant gets personalized attention. I'm actually gonna discuss in depth all of these cannabis stocks that we are interested, not just to gain from a Biden-Kamala victory, but really what's happening in the sector. So cannabis using marijuana to relieve menstrual symptoms. But mostly, we're going to discuss how cannabis has also been used to treat cancer therapies, and also how cannabis, aka CBD, cannabidiol, what are the latest topics handled for children with epilepsy, Parkinson's disease, and all those topics will be discussed inside our inner circle. Yeah, so I'll be discussing these therapies. Today, I also want to share that Grow Generation, which we have been buying since 12, and we had a reiterate buy at 18. Yes, we sold some at 15, 16, 17, and then we bought again at 17.50 when we learned that Grow Generation was buying the hydroponic depot. So just recently, we also saw news that hydroponic, GRWG, also known as Grow Generation, had acquired another hydroponic depot. So I'm gonna share that news for you. Wait up. This is just the headlines that Green Tomato, the Grow Generation bought Big Green Tomato. It's a Denver-based hydroponics retail chain which serves the cannabis companies in the U.S. They obtained the two-store chain, which generates approximately $16 million in revenue every year. So they believe that it will add about $40 million a few years from now in their in their revenues. Now, there's a lot of things happening. Meadow, a Y Combinator startup, builds software for California dispensaries, launched a CRM and text messaging platform. In Toronto Stock Exchange, the Flower Corp the Flower Corp FLWR is acquiring Terrace Global Inc. under the deal Flower. So there's going to be acquisitions and consolidation along the way. So basically, there's a lot of news for the week. Also, you can notice that this one, for instance, Philo, a compliance tech platform for highly regulated industries, announced the appointment of Christy Hafner. She was the former CEO of Playboy, and she will be part of the board of directors. In addition, Samantha Skay, CEO of She Media, Shane Atchison, CEO of Wonderman Thompson, Joe Rayan, Director of Global Strategic Partnerships. All of them are going to work together, making one of the largest, fastest growing consumer groups in the US for cannabis consumers, making it an essential audience for mainstream marketers. So there's a lot of hemp technology happening, increasing the supply chain. And for those who still aren't aware of the policies, Kamala Harris, the vice president, upcoming. So she's a senator, and of course, she's Joe Biden's running mate. Senator Kamala Harris said that she will be legalizing medical marijuana for the use for larger and larger number of states. I want to share to you as well inside my Twitter. Take a look at my profile. I'm going to share to you my Faces Trader. I want to show you a few things. So there's a lot of things happening. SoftBank, which was an awesome 10x free class Friday prick. You know that we already shared that we love SoftBank. SoftBank for many things. We discussed that deep dive about the 88 companies that they already own and what we like. SoftBank recently just bought another exciting private company. That would be Kahoot. Kahoot is an educational company that is involved in mathematics. So you can actually check that out. I'm also here to inspire you that there is a lot of ways for you to make money, even if you are doing it on a long-term focused perspective. Indeed, there's this rise of grain story. I follow a Swedish investor, which is Mathematic Kern. He shared it. I translated it for you because it was said in Swedish. A grain of rice, if it was placed on a square, which is a chessboard, which is 64 squares, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512. You know that after 64, that is 18 trillion grains of rice. Now, I know that you might think, well, I'm never going to compound my money 64 times and double every square. Going from 1 to 2 and 2 to 4 is already hard enough. Nonetheless, it actually reinforces for you that if you have a good decision, that good decision has a much larger earning impact rather than hard work. So, for instance, a lot of people said they bought Domino's Pizza. I've read some Motley Fools guys. They bought Domino's Pizza at about $15, 2010, 2011, it was about $33. Had they held it all the way till today, Domino's Pizza traded about 390. So that is from $15 to 390. That would be about 20 times your money in just the last 10 years. And we have a lot of examples actually. So the point here is that we want to encourage you to think long term and to actually think whether the company, whether you're up 100% or up 400%, is worth holding on. And you know our answer, as long as the thesis remains intact, it doesn't matter if you're up 300, 500% in the name, we would hold that name till infinity. So really, that's what we do. So 5% of our portfolio, say $500 of $10,000, went up to $1,000. We could be trimming it from 10% back to 5%, meaning we sell $500 worth at the market price, and then we hold that 500 waiting for it to go $5,000. That's the awesome 10x mantra and system. Now, on October 24, Xpeng had a tech day, XPEV. Looking forward to that, and they've actually shared a lot during that earnings. During that report, you could take a look at Xpeng vehicle, XPEV, shared that not only are they already using NVIDIA for the brain of XPEV, the smart car is actually it had a lot of good reviews. So take a look at their own Twitter site. This was just 13 hours ago, but everyone has been raving about the Xpeng motors. They sold about 3,000 vehicles, and they are expecting to, they already have produced 10,000 vehicles from their plant, which is a couple of kilometers away from Guangzhou. Now, in that October 24 Tech Day, it will be a phase wherein this is their goal. From 2020 to 2022, it will be a phase of gathering momentum for smart cars, because within the next 3 years, they have more factories to supply. And if you take a look at their smart automated factory, everything is 100% automated. In 23 to 2025, we will see accelerated growth, which will impose significant disruption to traditional ICE vehicles, CEO He Xiaopeng said. So it's actually a very strong, in my view, it's a very strong candidate. It is not going to kill Tesla, but it is going to help in introducing new energy vehicles overall in China. So a lot of the Henrys, we call them the Henrys, high earners, not rich yet. We call all the Henrys to actually be a buyer of Xiaopeng Motors. So yes, you could see that they're EV makers. This company is something that has been executing, and they've got about $700 million from IPO for those for the factory. And yeah, this one is, in my view, still going well, still good. I have it. I'm long at about 20, 21. I think that even at $18, if you could get in, yes, it is a buying area. Also, I think this is very important. This is what I shared during the weekend. So just during the weekend, you probably knew that Joe Biden and Trump had a debate, and in that debate, you could see the differences of both candidates. And Joe Biden said that they were gonna be very much they would be very much involved in renewable energy. So Joe Biden promised to transition the fossil fuel industry, and he actually said that they would. So it's very different. You could see that the Democrats are actually leading the way, and the Democrats have shown that they do not necessarily mean losing jobs for the oil industry. In fact, in Texas, there's already more people employing in renewable energy than in oil and gas. So even in Texas and Pennsylvania, these are the two largest fracking states in the country, climate action is overwhelmingly popular. So here we believe that the world is going to go solar, the world is going to go cheap. The cheapest form of electricity is solar. So whoever is the president, we do believe that the presidential candidate, which is Joe Biden, which is campaigning specifically on climate change, unification of a broad movement for racial, economic, and environmental justice, and one of the most powerful political forces with women of color in the country, slowly, all at once, we do think that the market is already pricing in that Joe Biden wins ever since August. So you are seeing that the market is already positive on all the solar, clean tech, renewables, and also the movement to legalize marijuana. So in essence, what I'm saying is that the market has already priced in that there will be continuous growth for companies like Grow Generation, like Green Thumb. I'm gonna show to you some Canadian names if you are not aware. So Green Thumb, GTII, Green Thumb Industries, Cura Leaf, Trulieve. These are medical marijuana companies that are already profitable. And you might need to check out on some companies that are about to be profitable. So you are seeing that these companies are all-time highs from about 6 to 21, fell down to 16, back to 21. That is Green Thumb Industries. This is a company pick. It is headquartered in Chicago, Illinois. They are dual. They are trading in both fronts, both in Canada and also in US. GTII for Canada, GTBIF for GTBIF for US. Same for Canada. True Leave, Relief you can rely on. It is in Illinois, and yeah, this was all covered inside our Awesome 10X tonight. Today, I'm gonna actually discuss more about cancer therapies via medical marijuana and also immunotherapy. So I'll be discussing all of that in depth for the paid members of Awesome 10X. So yeah, so there's a lot of things to discuss. Actually, I've also seen your Miniso IPO. So Miniso will be more like a retailer that you have to be comparing with the global retailers. So in a way, we are seeing that Zara, H&M, uh, they are values, and it depends on the valuation. I haven't read the Miniso Group. Hi, Ms. Nikki. Any inputs on Sunrun? Why did it go down? First and foremost, we have been advocating buying Sunrun since $20, actually since 13 to 19. So Sunrun went from about $8 to $80. So we were here, somewhere here at about 27, also here about 13 to 19. From about 27, we expected that people would take profit somewhere at about 70 to 80, and that was what happened. From 80 to 70, you do see a lot of profit taking. Nonetheless, this is just really triple the values like SunPower, which is also an Awesome 10X pick. Awesome 10X bought SunPower at 7. We bought again more at 11 and also at 16. When you look at the valuation, SunPower 2.7, Sunrun Sunrun, which is additional to VSLR, is trading at about 3 times the price. So if you will ask me, the valuation was a concern, but it has nothing to do with the secular trend. So Sunrun, two things would happen. Either Sunrun will go down to $50 just to lower the valuation of Sunrun because it went ahead versus SunPower, which is just at $16. So if SunPower goes 25, chances are it's really more on that. Please give your thoughts, insights on the Converge debut. I personally believe that Converge is in the best. Well, actually, the question should be in the Philippines, not in the US. But nevertheless, I'll answer your question. Converge IPO to me, it's whenever a company does IPO, especially for Converge, the business is all on the growth. So if you study it, the first day is already telling you that the market is not happy. That's why they sold it down. They sold it down mostly because of valuation concerns. So if you, I'll answer that more in depth if you want to know, maybe on a Philippine market update, not when my entire 15 minutes today was discussing US. So wrong question, not in the right video. Hi, Miss Nikki. What is your insight about Fastly? Fastly and Limelight are both CDN providers. In my view, Fastly went, if you are not aware, Fastly went from 10 to 120. That is a 12x move in this just 7 months. Now, I don't believe that Fastly will go $25. I don't think it will go $40, but I do think that $75 all the way to 60 or even 50 would be your accumulating price. I personally had Fastly at about 36, sold early actually. I wasn't able to sell as high as. So me personally, I think that 95 to 100, people believe that Fastly cannot grow as much. Agree with the valuation concerns because do note that Fastly is trading at 30 times price to sales versus other content delivery network providers like, say, Limelight, which is just trading at 3 times price to sales. Akamai probably trades just about 4 or 5 times. Cloudflare is also expensive, trades at about 20 times price to sales. You need to understand in depth that we do believe in CDN as a secular trend. However, not any price. So I personally have a limit. I'm willing to pay Fastly 75 all the way to $50. Now, why am I saying that it can go $60 or $50? Because $75 Fastly is expensive. The fact that I do not buy Zoom video at $500, even if it can go $600 or $700, or the fact that I do not buy Snowflake at $240, even if it can go 300, means that there is a valuation methodology that Awesome 10x does not chase, even if it's a secular trend. What do you think of Aurora Cannabis and Tilray? So personally, I think that there are several cannabis names, but the thing about Aurora and Tilray is that they both do not make money. Unlike Grow Generation, unlike True Leaf, unlike Green Thumb Industries, unlike Curaleaf, and unlike potentially Hexo, which could be break even EBITDA by next year. So I think the market should also be aware that Canopy Growth is not yet making money. Yes, there is a movement, as you know, CBD, legalization of marijuana will influence the entire sector, but given that I have many understanding on which companies are the better cannabis names, why would I force myself to own cannabis names that aren't making money if I already know who are making money? So in that light, I would prefer owning the cannabis names that have money making already. Tilray went from about 6 to 8. I sold some Tilray, took profits already. We were out. ACB, I took a loss on ACB. I don't mind because I realized even if I believe that the sector is on the way up, meaning MJ, marijuana as a sector will probably go up, why will I choose a weak fundamental name in cannabis when I can get the best of the best in cannabis? Where I already have. So I already have True Leaf, Green Thumb, and I already have Grow Generation. So that's how I play this cannabis name. You still hold Velodyne LiDAR. Yes, Velodyne LiDAR is a loss in my portfolio. But just as you all know, we always say that we are always diversified. So even if we are down, Velodyne LiDAR is now trading at $13.30. I paid at about $18. So it could be a sell when I can get out at about $18, but I wouldn't sell it at $13. I think that it is the value of Velodyne LiDAR is very important for the for the electric vehicles and for the self-driving cars. So I wouldn't worry with Velodyne LiDAR. Nonetheless, please make sure that you're diversified because me personally, I never bet on one name. I checked my portfolio. I have 40 names. Do you think that Intel is worth it? No. I don't have Intel and I don't plan to own it even if it goes down 40%. I was thinking about Planet 13. What's Planet 13? I'm not aware of that company. What does Planet 13 do? I am not aware of this company. Planet 13. Ah, okay. So it's a Las Vegas marijuana dispensary. It's not listed. Um, So personally, the to me, I prefer Green Thumb, which is rice dispensary. This is I personally believe that this is the better. I mean, I could be wrong, but this one is profitable, and they have great executives. So I prefer this one, Green Thumb, Truly, I covered Green Thumb, True Leaf. I covered Canopy Growth. I will try to cover Afria. I will try to cover Cronos. But actually, there's problems with Cronos, Tilray, and Aurora Cannabis. Yeah, so personally, you've got the better, you have other companies that are better. So like there's a lot of cannabis names. You might as well choose the better one. Yeah, so there. Okay, so before I end, I'm gonna share to you this video. So this is a good video, animated book summary. It is not how good you are, it is how good you want to be by Paul Arden. It's a 10-minute video, but I want to share to you a few things that's good about the company. Wait. So yeah, I think that you have to put this one in your list, Hexo. Hexo shot up about 20% in pre-market trading last Thursday after the Canada-based cannabis company said that they will start selling medical cannabis in Israel, marking the first time its medical cannabis products will be available outside of Canada. The sales in Israel will be a 2-year agreement with Israel medical cannabis company Breath of Life. The company said that it completed a first shipment of 493 kilograms. Hexo's flower products will be available to patients in Israel, packaged in 10-gram formats, and the product is really receiving positive feedback from retailers and patients, and they're looking forward to expand that strategic partnership with Hexo in Israel. So this one is actually something to look at. For Sunrun, I think that if you have a question, for Sunrun, I think it's just a valuation problem. But really, the future is Sunrun and Vivint Solar going higher. So any dips, even if it goes down to 50 or 45, should not be a panic mode. I actually think that this drop from 80 all the way to about 45 or even as low as 56 last week, you could already start buying at 56 with the attention to buy more at 50 or 45 should it fall down. Actually, it's not a problem. And in my view, yeah, the solar related names are all in 10x trends. We actually discussed this more fully in our in-depth deep dives. But because we're early, yeah, so like I don't think that you could buy companies that we like as early as our prices. So if you want to know the companies that we are studying, yeah, just go to awesome10x.com. We do deep dives. So for instance, I'll be discussing companies which are in the immunotherapy and medical marijuana, specifically CBD. So yeah, there will be a lot of coverage. I will cover them in deep dives. So yun. Yeah, so this one is your Hexo. Put this in your watch list. Hexo Corp. Corp, in my view, has already bottomed out. So any prices from about 77 all the way to 60 cents should be accumulated with a potential rally to $1.20 or even at $2, especially since I do believe that by November 3, we will have a new president. And that president would be Biden. And I think that the new vice president is Kamala Harris. Nonetheless, if they don't win, it's also fine because these companies, I do believe, have their own specific clients. In this case, Israel for Hexo, and for our companies, they have a lot of businesses in Michigan and Illinois. Some of them are already legalized. So in US, which I will discuss, there are several states that have already legalized medical marijuana. This is the reason why True Leaf is a very strong one in Illinois, and True Leaf has also been growing other parts of US. So more states for True Leaf. This is a company that I do believe in. So True Leaf trades in Canada, TRUL. Yeah. So it's also in trading in US as TC and NF. So most of the Canadian companies are actually trading as well in US, just in the OTC market. So that's it. Thank you very much, and I hope you learned something today. It's a cannabis week. Thank you very a week or maybe a month or even a decade. Thank you very much. Bye bye.